With today's weather, what have you got for us today, Grant? The mind boggles.
Koshi, have you ever put any thought towards the people who keep our airports safe? The firefighters who man their long shifts, make sure the planes that come in safely. We have, of course, some of the safest airlines and airports in the world. But sometimes it's a thankless task because they are the men and women that you don't get to see very often. Today,
thank goodness,
we're going to open that door wide open. Yes, completely agree. They're not the people you want to see. They are behind the scenes. But today we are taking you behind the scenes of the aviation firefighters for Air Services Australia here at Mascot, and their enormous trucks that tend to the duties of about 2,000 jobs per year. I didn't realise, to be honest, I'm going to not say this too loud, but I kind of thought it might be a bit quiet being an aviation firefighter, maybe a lot of table tennis and PlayStation. But no, these guys are elite. And we're going to show you today just how elite they are because, get this, we're going to do a full-scale drill today with flames. A full-scale emergency recovery procedure.
Poor people in the planes coming into land.
Not on a real plane, Mel. Not on a real plane. I don't think they paid for that. But today, you'll get an idea just how safe we are once we run you through these procedures. It's going to be amazing, actually, today as we have a look at the forecast around Australia for the first time this morning. Trucks. Awesome, with huge big hoses on the top which shoot like 77 metres. For the ladies, firefighters. And yes, ladies, one of them is a former Mr. Universe. That'll be the one that I'm being nice to. So today, yeah, it's going to be great.
Can't wait. All right, Grant, thank you.
Today's weather, who's going off? Not too much. Hello, Fireman Grant.
Stand down, citizen. Got this under control. You don't need to worry whatsoever.
Boy,
the 70 men and essentially men that look after Sydney Airport, the aviation firefighters who ensure that the 900 movements at Sydney Airport, that's takeoffs and landings for you laymen, happen safely. They're the backbone of this place. They've got an impeccable record, and we're getting into the scene now of what it involves to be these guys. Now, these trucks behind us, they're enormous. They've got 8 rigs in total. Now, they have to be on site within 3 minutes of the first call to the plane to actively be involved in recovering that situation. Now, that's pretty remarkable, considering it took me 10 minutes to get into these clothes. That gives you an idea how finely honed they are. Now, here's my pal Morris. Morris, don't you leave me. Let's get on this, buddy. All right, we've got a bit of a gas situation over here. So this is simulating a potential gas leak that could happen at Sydney Airport. 10,000 litres. You can empty it in 2 minutes. Are you ready? Come on, Morris. Push. Push. Get in there, son. Come on. We're a band of brothers.
very hot.
It's really hot now. It's really quite hot. 30 foot of flames. Fight it back. Come on. Oh, fire. Oh, she's quite a devilish temptress, isn't she? I tell you what. Are you really?
Is that the barbecue bottle gone off?
No situation's too small, Koshi. You never know. Anything could potentially turn into a big danger in a couple of seconds, so you got to be on your game. These guys train for this right around the clock. They're a dedicated bunch. I'm just glad we're here. Let's have a look at the forecast. That's intense. 2,000 jobs they do a year, but they do everything from, a fire emergency like this, or, maybe a stranded plane. If a warning light comes on the dash of a plane, they will respond and be there ready to go. But they could be something as small as also like a heart attack. They tend to medical emergencies as well. So they're way busier than I thought, but so crucial when you take into account, the danger of planes.
The power in those hoses, Grant, is it tough to control? Is that why you had the bloke behind you?
Yeah, absolutely. It seems to be a bit of a joke to see how much they can turn the power off on me without me knowing. But yeah, that would just sort of swing me around. So that's why you go in with 2 blokes, one to hang on the hose and one to aim. So it's a team effort.
Except for him, who's only got one, but he's stronger.
He's Mr. Universe.
Yeah, that's Mr. Universe. Grant, we're so glad we have you on the team. We feel safer.
It's fascinating.
It's a brotherhood. It's a brotherhood.
Love behind the scenes stuff like that.
Here's Grant.
the aviation firefighters are pretty hands-on down here. I thought I was coming down for a bit of a look, but no, they're throwing me straight in the fire. So why not? These guys are extraordinary. They are the men and women who keep the airports of Australia, and particularly the one here at Mascot, with an impeccable safety record. At the moment, a little bit of a scenario. Hang on, before I do that. Hey, Kashi. I am your father. Yes, I want to do that. We have a burning building situation here, or it could be a fuselage of a plane. Inside is a trapped person. We've got a heat-seeking gun here to try and find that person and rescue them from this burning building. I got my man Morris. We're a team. Morris, you ready? Let's do this. Come on. Get it. Yeah, good job. Whoa, it's hard, isn't it? All right, here we go. Get into it, son. Oh, he's good, Morris. He's good. I'm going to duck in behind him, use my heat-seeking thing to find. For this purpose, we'll call her Jennifer Hawkins. Oh, there she is. I found her, Morris. She's here. There's a lot of smoke in here. Come on. Jen's heavy. Come on. Don't you quit on me. Don't you quit.
Oh, great rescue.
All right, fingers are on here. She's okay. She's okay.
Is he okay?
Let's put her on the fire. Oh, these guys do this every day.
Just good to know Grant's out there.
The forecast. Now, you know a little earlier on, you were asking about, can you hold the hose, one bloke on its own on full pelt with 10,000 litres pumping out in 2 minutes? Well, you can if you've got these. Check out the pythons on this bloke. Holy smoke. He's the bloke who hangs onto the hose because no one else can. Former Mr. Australia.
Yeah, the last 3 years in a row.
Fair dinkum.
Yeah.
Does that help you in your day-to-day job?
Look, obviously being nice and fit and strong and all that sort of stuff is fantastic for this sort of job and the sort of work we're required to do at times.
Do you get a lot of women asking you to carry them to their gate?
Not if my wife has anything to do with it.
They're great people, they work hard, there's 70 of them to keep these planes on the ground and in the air as safe as possible for all the passengers on board.
Lincoln's met his guns match there.
Look at those shirt sleeves. They are pretty amazing guns, aren't they? All right, thank you, Grant.
Front line of the firefight at the airport today. GD, you're inside Unit 1.
Oh, mate, Air Services are committed to world-class firefighting services here, keeping 21 Australian airports safe. Welcome to a very big toy for a very important role. Now, this thing here weighs 30 tonne with 10,000 litres, which it pumps out in two minutes. Now, we've got a scenario in front of us. Just say this scenario is, it could be a wheel fire on board one of the planes. We'll just light that up there and then just check out what happens after this. Now, 70% of aircraft accidents actually happen at an airport. That's why it's essential that these blokes are on their game, and they certainly are. Now, on top of me here is a massive big jet, like the biggest super soaker you could possibly imagine. What that's going to do is put this fire out in just a second. Why don't we have a quick look at the forecast? 740 aviation firefighters in Australia. May I?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, let's check out the firepower of this bad boy. You ready? Watch this. Yee! Jeez! Wow, that's quite powerful. So we got a wheel fire here, so I'm trying to put that out now to stop it spreading to, of course, the important area being the wing. That's where all the fuel is stored on a plane. The most important thing is, of course, passenger recovery and then saving property after that. Look at this thing go. Wouldn't you love this on a summer's day, fighting the street with your kids, trying to keep it? Beats a sprinkler. Beats a sprinkler any day. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's how it's... Yeah. I'd love to stand in front of it and see how long you last.
Go on.
All right, guys, we'll catch you in half an... What we're going to do in half an hour is set the whole fuselage on fire. I told you there's no limits to today.
I want to borrow that to wash our dog. That'd be brilliant. Well, instead of chasing him around.
Space. Today's weather.
Not really the sight you want to see at an airport as you're on the approach path. As you can see, quite an extensive fire now underway. Now, fire in planes, really not something you want to think about, but thankfully Air Services Australia do think about it, and these are the firefighters. As you can see, the two approaching monsters, the firefighting demons that shoot a heap of water out of those enormous big jets to get on top of a fire very, very quickly. Now, this is a worst case scenario situation, an entire fuselage completely engulfed. Of course, saving lives is their priority. They can empty those 10,000 litres in just 2 minutes. 700 firefighters from around the country. Lisa, explain that process. It's so crucial to have these guys. You don't even know they're often there. Not many people know you guys exist because
that's true.
You're under the radar, but thank God you are there.
Definitely. So at the moment, we're using the monitors on the roofs of the trucks to extinguish the ground fire, which you want out before you make any entry into the aircraft for rescue.
Now, as a career for you guys, as I said, people don't really know much about you. Is it a rewarding life?
It is. It's very rewarding, very challenging. There's always something new to do. We have a very wide variety of training here. As you can see from this morning, we've done everything from first aid, gas fires, and now our main bread and butter, the aircraft fires.
And you only like to think of them being there in the event of a worst case scenario, like just hanging there just in case. But as the reality actually is, 2,000 jobs they attended here at Sydney Airport alone just in 2010. So they're very, very active, but that could be anything from a medical heart attack right through to a car accident on the airport, or as you can see, a brake fire, or indeed, God forbid, a fuselage fire, as we have a look at the forecast right around Australia. Every 90 days or so, they go through these scenarios just to keep themselves up to check. Now, to actually allow this demonstration to happen, we actually had to find a gap in between a couple of approaching planes, clearly. Obviously, not to alarm anybody on board. They don't want a big plume of smoke as planes are coming in to scare the passengers. So we got special permission from the tower and the control tower there to just clear a path so we could do this demonstration. Just really give these guys a bit of a pat on the back, because nobody realises the important work that they do for Air Services Australia.
Brilliant. I was amazed when you said 2,000 jobs last year.
Yeah, I know.
Yay.
Kind of scary, but kind of crucial.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to know they're there. Thanks, Grant. See you in half an hour. It is
Performance from Grant Denyer this morning, who's been out with the fireys at Sydney Airport. GD, you belong. You belong out there with the guys and girls.
Yeah, I feel 20% sexier just wearing firefighter outfit. I know how much the ladies in the office just melt over a fireman.
Yep.
And you know, it feels good.
You
It feels
look
really good. You know what? I might need some oil of Olay though after the amount of fires we've been fighting today. Skin is parched. But anyway, that's a bit girly to be saying that around these dudes. Hey, just kidding? Yes, just kidding. We've actually got to wait for a plane to fly overhead before we can start this next fire, so let's have a look at the weather. All right, DCP is what we got here. Dry chemical powder, hit it. This is a brake fire. And what this does is you hit it with this powder. And shut it off. Because if you throw like a big stream of water, for instance, on an engine or hot brakes, often then that can make that compound explode. So hot engines don't like cold water, like the magnesium brakes, for instance. That's why you've got to go in with these chemical compounds. These guys are true everyday heroes. They're the ones making sure that our airlines and our passengers are all safe. Of course, there's about, 900 movements alone just every day here at Sydney Airport. So they're kind of unsung heroes. You don't really want to know they're there, but it's nice to know that they're there. In fact, if you've got a talent, in the next couple of days, Australia's Got Talent auditions are actually kicking off around the country. Coffs Harbour tomorrow, Newcastle on Saturday. So if you're the next Jack Vidgen or Cosentino or Justice Crew, make sure you go to their website and get down there. So encourage those friends, family members, aunties, uncles, whoever. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. All right, Grant, it's been a fascinating morning. Thank you for that. After